I thought I was just being funny, a harmless joke, a little teasing. I never expected it to be the moment that would tear my life apart. But that's exactly what happened. The words slipped out and I never realized how deeply they would cut until it was too late. What happened next will shock you. He walked out without saying a word. Have you ever pushed someone away without realizing it? Let me know in the comments below where you're watching from and share if you've ever experienced something similar. I never thought I'd be sitting here telling you this story. But here I am, alone, in a house that once felt like home, with nothing left but my regret. And it all started with a joke. Mark and I had been together for years, since high school actually. He was always the steady one, the dependable one, the man who didn't show much emotion, but I could always count on him. He was reliable, calm, and strong. At least that's what I told myself, but I never saw how much of it was just a front. I didn't realize how much I had started to resent his calmness, his predictability. I wanted something more, something exciting, something that would make me feel alive again. And when that feeling of boredom crept in, when I felt like I was living in a routine with no spark, I started to make jokes. Mark would sit there quietly, watching the news or scrolling through his phone, and I would throw in my jabs. You know, you're really not that strong, right? I'd laugh. I don't know how you'd ever protect me if something really happened. I didn't mean it. I didn't even realize how hurtful it was. I just wanted him to react, to show some fire, something. But he didn't. He just sat there, his usual calm self, barely even acknowledging the words. That was my mistake. I thought it was all a game, something harmless. But Mark took it differently. That night, the tension in the air was thicker than usual. It had been building up for a while, and I didn't know it. I had been making jokes like that for months, testing his patience, trying to get a reaction, pushing his buttons in ways I didn't fully understand. He had always been so quiet, so reserved, never reacting to my teasing. But that night was different. That night, I crossed a line I didn't even know existed. After another one of my jokes, something about how I didn't know if I could rely on him if something serious happened, Mark stood up. Slowly, deliberately, as if everything about him was moving in slow motion. I didn't think anything of it at first. But then he turned to me, his face was blank. I couldn't read him. He wasn't angry, but there was something in his eyes that made my heart drop. His eyes were sad, disappointed, and then he spoke. I can't do this anymore, Sarah. I remember those words like they were etched into my brain. I didn't understand. What do you mean? I asked, my voice shaking. I thought he was just upset, that he'd get over it, like always. He shook his head. I can't keep being the punchline of your jokes. I can't keep pretending like it doesn't hurt. I felt the ground shift beneath me. I never thought Mark would ever leave me. I had always believed that no matter what, we would work through it. He was my rock. He was the man I could count on. But in that moment, I realized that I had taken him for granted. I had made him feel small, and now I was watching him walk away. I reached for him, but he stepped back, his expression hardening. I don't want to be with someone who doesn't respect me, Sarah, who doesn't see me for who I am. I can't keep being made to feel like I'm weak, like I'm not enough. I deserve more than that. And then, just like that, he walked out. I stood there, frozen, the weight of his words crashing down on me. I had tried to make him react. I had wanted him to show me emotion, to fight back. But in the end, what I got was something I never expected. His silent departure. He didn't yell. He didn't throw anything. He just left. And in that moment, I realized how deeply I had hurt him. It's funny how, in the heat of the moment, we think we're just joking, that we're just pushing someone's buttons. But words have weight. Words can break something you thought was unbreakable. I stood in the hallway, my hands trembling, waiting for him to come back. I told myself he was just upset, that he'd come back and everything would be fine. But as the minutes turned into hours, I knew deep down that I had lost him. I had pushed him too far. Days turned into weeks. I went through the motions, pretending everything was fine, pretending like I didn't miss him, like I didn't regret everything I'd said. But every time I looked at the empty chair across from me, every time I heard the silence where his voice used to be, the reality hit me harder. I tried to reach out to him again, but it was no use. He had already made up his mind. He was gone. And this time it wasn't just a walk. He had walked away from me, from everything we had built. Now I sit here, in this house that feels empty without him. I replay that night over and over in my mind, wondering what I could have done differently. I never thought a joke could cause so much damage, but here I am, left to face the consequences of my actions. Do you ever say something you regret? Do you ever push someone away without realizing it? Share your story in the comments below and let me know where you're watching from. And if this story resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to hear more about my journey through regret and self-discovery.